It's the Statline Podcast. It's the third week, third episode, Atlas. How's it going?
It's going good, man. It keeps getting
Hello? Cutting up, buddy. Hola.
got some drafts coming up, so a lot to be happy for.
Wait, you just caught up for me, but I heard the ending bit there that things sports is coming. It's the third week of the Statline Podcast. How's it going, Atlas?
It's going good, bro. It's getting better every week. We're getting closer to this NFL season, NBA season as well, hockey season. It's just the fall sports are coming around, and I'm just so excited for this year. Fantasy as well. It's coming up pretty quick. Got some drafts coming up as well, so timing is getting better. This is the best time of the year.
Yeah, I mean the fantasy draft is coming up. Even our draft is coming up, and we were just talking about this in the pre-show before we started recording. And we were like, oh, why are we not talking about this on the pod? But we need to start talking about this is a question I had earlier, and I'm sure folks out there. Let's say in a 12-man league, right, the one we have, PPR league. What's your favorite draft spot?
I think the third overall pick is probably my favorite draft spot, just simply because you're gonna, Jameer Gibbs and Bijan Robinson are likely the 1-2, but then you have the option of either Chase or Puka, and then if any of those two running backs slide to you, then you also have that option.
If
I
someone
think,
takes Puka or something.
yeah, I think someone could take Puka or even Chase. In years past, he's gone 101, and I just think that that third spot you can get one of those top three, top four guys without having to worry about having the least favorable of those four or five guys to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, I would go a step further. I think it's the four spot, dude. If I get one of Puka, Bijan, or Chase, I don't think Gibbs would fall to the four. But there's a good chance between Bijan, Jamar, and Puka, any of those three guys fall to the four. I'm okay with that. And I think after four is where it drops out. Because after at the five spot, who are you taking? JSN,
Probably
CMC,
Jason, maybe CMC. I mean, Jonathan
Amon
Taylor if you're
Ra.
in gold, Mon Ra, yeah. And then after that, it gets, yeah,
I mean, think about it, right? If
Thielen.
you have the sixth spot, let's say five is JSN, because I think that's enough. Who do you really like? There's after that, it's a range of players because
Hmm.
you're deciding between anywhere from Christian McCaffrey's fine there, to James Cook, Ashton Gent. I mean, any of these guys could be taken number six overall, could be taken number 12 overall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's a good chance
there's not
CMC
a
falls to 111.
yeah, there's not like a guaranteed like surefire hit in
Yeah.
one of those picks. It's like why would you take an older CMC if you can have a younger James Cook? But then on the flip side of that, you could have CMC who's produced more, throughout his career and is a fantasy dynamite. Like why would you not take him? So it's not like as clear cut of top tier talent there at
Because
past
I
five
mean,
picks.
obviously injury risk and everything, and then I mean, CD Lamb. Okay, the question is what about the turn? How good is the turn this year compared to previous years? Because a lot of times what happens at the turn is you take, as you said, the all the fantasy commodities we know about Bichon, we know about Puka, we know about Gibbs. Those guys are going to be at the top of the first. Usually,
Hmm.
what happens at the end of the first is guys like Brian Thomas Jr. last year get taken over. Lad McConkey last year, right? Chase Brown last year. This year, the conversation at that turn is going to be Nico Collins, Drake London, you know,
Justin
even
Jefferson, maybe. I
Justin
mean,
Jefferson, Rashi Rice, maybe. Who knows?
yeah, and then you got those running backs like Devon Chan. I mean, Jeremiah Love is going to drop back a little bit
Genty,
for his hamstring injury. Genty, like you said. There's some guys, and then Saquon could get up there. Even AJ Brown potentially up there.
K9
Yeah, K9 in a new offense. I like him this year
for
for
Mahomes.
fantasy, but yeah, that 12, 12, 13 pick, first pick of the second round, it's not a guarantee. You got to be very strategic. You may have to take a reach for a player that may have went later in the second round because you won't get another pick back until the end of the third round. So that's you got to be very strategic about it. So I like a little bit more in the first half of the draft, but not right at one, not right at two.
I honestly, I am a big fan of either the three or the four because if you have the three or the four, you can set yourself with Puka Nacua in the first round, Brock Bowers in the second round, and Josh Allen in the third round. I mean,
Yeah, you're
what,
getting like the best player at three different positions. Like that
and
is,
you can get the best if you can have the best player at the QB and the tight end spot. In our league last year, that's what Camden had, right? Trey
yeah,
McBride at the tight end spot, and he had Josh Allen at quarterback, and unstoppable.
yeah, man. Like you got to be strategic and think, picks ahead when you're making your pick. But in the top five, you're gonna go best player available, and like you said, that three and four pick is gonna be gold this year for sure.
Yeah, I mean, wow, I can't wait to actually get drafting and whatnot. Have you started mock drafting yet?
I do a little bit, on like lunch break and stuff, or if I'm just bored, just to.
When's your first draft of all the leagues you're in? Oh, 27th. Yeah. It's on Friday. I have the that's fine. My first draft is this Friday. It's my work
Mm.
league. I have
Oh,
the 10th
really?
overall pick. It's a $100 10-man league. I have that 10-11 turn. I'll be happy if I can get any combo of JT, CD. If Amon Ra falls to me, oh God,
That'd be
I'm really
nice.
hoping either Amon Ra or C Mac falls to me. But yeah, let's see how I don't know if I can reach for Brock Bowers at that stage. I feel like that's too much of a reach taking Bowers because I'm big on Bowers this year.
Yeah,
Um,
the new
I
Clint
that,
Kubiak offense.
that Clint
Yeah,
Kubiak offense, they don't have any wideout to be scared about in terms of target share, right?
nope.
If they're throwing the football, it's going to Brock Bowers.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Maybe
seriously, I like
somebody in the
who even
backfield.
is their number one receiver?
I think they got like Jalen Naylor or something from the Vikings, if I'm not mistaken.
Jalen Naylor is their number one receiver. What?
Yeah,
I mean, let me look at
Trey
the depth chart real
or
quick.
Trey something.
Because it's not Jacoby Myers. He's been
No,
long gone. Trey Tucker.
yeah, Trey Tucker.
Oh
That was actually
God. Oh
funny. Trey
God.
Tucker.
Yeah, I'm big on Brock Bowers this year, man. Brock Bowers is gonna be doing some numbers.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. He just got to stay healthy, and the O line's got to protect whoever is back there at quarterback to give them enough time to actually get the
I
ball.
did not realize how bad that I mean, that might be the worst receiving core ever.
Yeah, it's trash. Like,
Trey Tucker, Jalen Naylor, and Malik Benson. What are we doing?
yeah, that is.
No,
I'm
seriously,
glad you
like what the
pointed that out. Yeah, Jack Beck or whatever his name is. Yeah, that's
Oh, Jack, that, Deontay
that's the
Thornton
white boy.
Jr., Noah Brown. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah,
Philip Dorsett still running it. That's
yeah.
like you see those TikToks about name your elite wide receiver pool. I'll go first. A lot of
Mhm.
times, Philip Dorsett will be in the comment section in those videos, and he's the receiver for the Raiders this year. Oh my God, I cannot believe this.
It's crazy. Like you don't see in the NFL too often. Their two best like offensive like weapons as far as receivers and tight ends are both tight ends. Like you got Michael Meyer and obviously Brock Bowers. Like those,
Yeah.
they're much more talented at their position than those guys are wide
The two
receivers.
best pass catchers on this team are going to be tight ends, and maybe the third best is their running back in Genty.
Yeah, for sure. I've liked what I've seen from their backup running back. I saw a clip on
Mike
X.
Washington.
Yeah, yeah, he looks like a bowling ball, just rolling down the field. I like his moves, so I think he could be a good 1-2 punch benefactor for
I mean,
Genty.
I'm looking here. The team that is surprising me, I don't see them in the top list at all. Like, I mean, I see Cardinals play. I see Jeremiah Love and Trey McBride. I see a bunch of Ravens. I see Saints. Where the hell are the Steelers? There is zero fantasy. I mean, seriously, number 75, RB 26 is Jalen Warren.
Yeah,
DK
because
Metcalf is wide receiver 31 at pick 78 right now, according to the fantasy or Draft Sharks ADP.
where's Rico at? And then Michael Pittman, probably their only other options.
Rico is 82. Pittman is 89.
Yeah,
So their number one fantasy player is, in terms of ADP, the 75th best player in the
that's
NFL.
insane.
Like what?
You
Someone
know,
someone has to be coming out of that Pittsburgh offense.
hey,
That
they
is
just
some of
paid
the.
Darnell Washington. My money's on him, bro. He's about to
The
wreak havoc in
guy.
the red zone. Yeah, the big guy from Georgia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember watching him last year. But that's
Yeah.
crazy, dude. Like an NFL team. I mean, seriously, I don't remember an NFL team where their best option is not even to be thought about in the first 5 rounds of
No, but
fantasy football.
it's crazy because I feel like, DK could have a huge benefit with Michael Pittman being there. Like he was the only guy out there and he could not, win in double teams at all. And, having somebody out there for Aaron Rodgers, that's another tall guy receiver, it's just going to help the whole offense. And, Rico Dowdle as well is going to be beneficial to um,
For
Jalen
sure.
Warren. So I like their offense, but that is crazy. They don't have anybody up at the top at all in
What
fantasy.
team does Gainwell play for now?
Tampa.
Oh, he
So
got
that
Tampa.
that's a weird backfield right now because you got Sean Tucker still, and then obviously Bucky Irving, and then Kenneth Gainwell. Like, what do you even do there at
I mean,
with that team? The
honestly,
only guy that's safe, I feel like, is like Ibuka, and
oh, I
that's the
mean,
only
dude,
guy I would
I
want.
thought Ibuka is hella undervalued this year with no
Yeah.
Mike Evans on that roster. I think Baker Mayfield's healthy, and like you said, that running back is all over the place. I mean, Bucky Irving is solid, but like, I mean,
Well,
another guy that was,
he got injured last year, and like it doesn't even look like he's the same since then. Like 2 years ago, when he had that breakout party
oh
season,
yeah, of course.
kind of sent Rashad White out of town. With that year taking over the backfield, I think he's not to that level yet. Again, and Kenneth Gainwell is going to eat into those touches, but like you said, Ibuka is going to be a really good value right now for fantasy.
And then, I mean, if we're talking tight end, obviously there's Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. Those two guys are going to be gone within, end of the second round, early third round. Both those guys are probably going to be taken around there. After that, where do you? I mean, like, who's tight end three? Tyler Warren, Tucker
Yeah, I was
Craft,
gonna say maybe.
Loveland.
Yeah, it's weird. I think Loveland would be the tight end three. I mean, you've already seen Luther Burden had a few injuries in camp. Obviously, Odunze's had up and down last season, and I think Colston Loveland was the big target for
With
Caleb
no
Williams
DJ
towards the
DJ Moore's in
no
in, in,
DJ Moria. He's in
in the
Buffalo.
Bills. I mean, shit. Maybe DJ Moore's a target.
Oh yeah, no, he's got good value too. I just get scared with DJ Moore because he'll have these weeks with like one catch for 3 yards, and like you'll just have to eat it on your starting roster. Like,
That's with Caleb as the QB. Do you think he's gonna have those with Josh? I mean, seriously, this is the first time in DJ Moore's career since Cam Newton, probably, right, in 2018, where you'll
mhm.
go into the game and think DJ Moore's got the better quarterback of the matchup.
Yeah, I mean, this is Josh Allen's best receiver since Stephon Diggs,
For
and
sure.
I think
I mean,
this
he
is
was throwing it the what did Cam call Keon Keon Coleman donuts or some shit like that.
Cookie Coleman.
Cookie Coleman, yeah.
Yeah, that was his, and then Josh Palmer, those types of guys. I mean, they got a
Yeah.
good team, but DJ Moore is another level for their receiving core.
I just hope I don't take Dalton Kincaid again. Every single year, I go into the draft thinking, "Oh, Dalton Kincaid's gonna be my steal. Like, I gotta keep it on the hush." Like, and then I take Dalton Kincaid and motherfucker. I mean, sometimes he does good. Don't get me wrong. And then some weeks he'll have one catch or 17 yards or a whopping 2.7 fantasy points.
Yeah, no, I think you got a steal last year with Dalton Kincaid. He helped you like get some early wins early
He
on.
did. He did.
Those first few weeks he was popping off, and you could have easily traded him. But in a 14 man, it's super hard to trade. I'm excited for the 12 man this year. Get a couple more moves out there. See what we can do with that. But let's go back to the draft real quick. I know you told me your draft pick. What are your thoughts on like knowing your draft pick early, or how do you think fantasy leagues should do it as far as when teams have preparation for what pick they're going to have?
I have I've brought up this idea in our league, and we're gonna do a little hybrid version of that because we're only gonna decide the draft picks the night before. But I'm a big fan of you know almost like prepare for all possibilities, right? Because
Mhm.
it depends on like what the league's purpose is. If the league's purpose is for your homeboys to have fun while making it competitive, I think the best way to do it is you decide the draft order like an hour before, right?
Mhm.
Be prepared for all possibilities. It's supposed to be a fun thing, right? With competitive like edges, right? It's like when you go and play pickup basketball. Of course, it's gonna get competitive, right? You're gonna want to win, but like the main product here is fun, right?
Right.
You're not running an NFL franchise here, right?
You're
Where
here
you need
to,
to,
build camaraderie throughout the
yeah.
season and move to the next season with like some hype for sure.
Exactly. The idea here is to bond, right? I mean, seriously, the
Mhm.
idea here is to use football. It's something that we all love. We all like die for almost, like we all live for,
Right.
and use that as the tool to bring the squad together. Get the group chats popping because the group chats hella dry from February until August. It gets
Well,
pretty dry.
even now, man, I'll throw some texts in there and nobody even gets me back. But once the season starts, I know it's going to be live in there. So
Yes.
everybody gets hyped once the team is drafted, or once we're kind of preparing for the draft weekend. Like that's the time where everything starts popping off.
Exactly. So for me, I think, you have a draft day set. Everyone wakes up at 10 in the morning on draft day. First 3 hours is, games and ways to figure out what the draft order is. Let's say at 1 o'clock, you get a few brews into your system. You're feeling a little tipsy. And then at 1:30, you start the draft.
I
That's
like
how it should be.
Well, this year we're gonna implement the shot clock or the timer, the draft timer, so people
Yeah.
know 1 minute. That's all they got to make these selections. Because we've had the past couple years, it's been like 5, 7 hour drafts, and it just towards the end, people are just picking random players because
And
they
the
just
worst
don't
part
have any
is
time.
it's towards the end when people take the longest time because they don't
Yeah,
know who the fuck they're drafting. And
yeah.
it's like it doesn't matter who you pick in round 13, you know?
That's like when you grabbed Garendo from the 49ers. Like, who is that guy at the time? But then
Who?
he Isaac Garendo
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
Isaac Garendo. I remember. Yeah.
Like everybody was like, "Wait, who?" Yeah, but he ended up playing, pretty good that season. But
Trace Mack on the Packers this year, the kicker. I love that name. I just
is
want to
he
throw
the
it out
start?
there.
He's the starting kicker this year.
Yeah, yeah, he's the starting kicker.
Oh, really? Yeah.
His name is Trace Mack. I know
That's
nothing about it other than his name is kind of fire.
Hey, that name smacks, bro. I think he'll kill it in Lambeau. That'd be fire.
Like, are people going to be drafting Sean Tucker in the 15th round? They're going to be thinking about, who do I draft, Sean Tucker or Keenan Allen? Oh, fuck, Keenan Allen's not even on the roster. Like,
No, honestly, I think with the 12 man, that's the highest you can really go. But I think towards the end we'll have a little bit better selection than we've had the past couple of years. So I'm
for
excited
sure.
for it.
Also,
You'll know most of the players.
I just want to say something, Atlas. On the Raiders, we just talked about the Raiders depth chart being Trey Tucker as wide receiver one. According to Draft Sharks, Trey
Mm,
Tucker's ADP is 194th. That is the 12th pick of the 14th round. So the last pick of the 14th round, wide receiver 62. That is their number one pass catching option. How in God's world is an NFL team constructed that way?
yeah,
Blows
that's
my mind.
terrible. Hey, this might raise the Ashton Genty stocks just this podcast alone because who's out there besides Brock Bowers and
Seriously, I'm
Mike
looking at it. I'm
McCarthy.
like, hold up. I might have to take Ashton Genty on the turn. That 10-11 turn, I like, holy shit. I might have to double up, get Genty and Powers. Like,
Hey, I mean, I like the Raiders and what they're doing, but they're gonna get smacked in the AFC West again this year. So I'm trying to stay away from those tanking team
but if they
rosters.
get smacked, maybe Trey Tucker is the option because even if they're getting smacked, that means they're gonna have to throw the football.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You
true.
know, they're gonna be going up against Mahomes and Andy Reid. They're gonna be going up against Sean Payton and Bo Nix,
And I
against
think
Jim
Trey Tucker
Harbaugh and
had like a 40-point game last year too, right?
that
So
week 3 game or whatever, and then someone picked him up in the waiver. I'm not just in our league, in every fucking league. People picked him up in the waivers, and the best game he had since then was like a 17-point outer or something like that.
yeah, I think it was one of the Sheeman brothers that grabbed him this year. I can't remember who.
But yeah, I mean, let's see. On the KC, you got Rashi Rice and Kenneth Walker. Where do you put Travis Kelsey? Is he a target at all for you?
I think he's like a lower tier tight end one.
Like a 8th round, 9th round, like
He's
whenever when the
I
tight end run starts at the end.
Yeah, I think like if you have him on your roster, you're not going to be like super ecstatic, but you'll probably have a backup tight end as well, just in case. But I don't think he's going to be like I like Isaiah Likely and his upside and his floor even. more than Travis Kelsey this year, and obviously he's a lot younger, but I think his volume is going to be huge, and you can get him around the same time as Kelsey from what I've seen in mock drafts.
Also, number one strategy this year, in for me personally, is unless you can get Josh Allen in the third round, or maybe Lamar in the fourth round, you cannot take a quarterback until way later in the draft because the gap between QB3, which was whatever you want to argue, Drake May, Jane Daniels, like probably one of those two guys, and up to like we're talking Matt Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix, Dak Prescott, Kyler. Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy, Herbert. I mean, you can
You
have
gotta
any of
throw
these guys.
Hurts in there, man.
Hurts, yeah, Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
So many guys.
Stafford,
I mean,
Purdy, all those
yeah,
guys, like
Jordan
Jared
Love. I haven't
Goff.
even mentioned
Yeah,
him. Baker Mayfield, all these. C.J. Stroud, Sam Darnold. Like,
Aaron Rodgers.
no, but there's just so many guys that the drop off from Drake May to Justin Herbert isn't that big. Drop off from Drake May to Matthew Stafford who won the MVP last year isn't that big. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I
mean, you
mean?
can even get like I know that Mahomes is coming off of ACL and may not start the regular season, but you can get him at really good value right now if you're thinking
For
that
sure.
all these other guys are around the same tier. You can
So,
get
like
him down
this
there with
year,
Stafford and them.
if we have any podcast listeners who have made it this far into the podcast, you're going to win your league if you listen to this. Either take Josh Allen in the third or fourth round or Lamar Jackson in the fourth or fifth round. After that, you could not be touching a quarterback until it's time to take kickers and defenses. Seriously. Like, because
But
we are in
you
the
don't want
point.
to mess up your starting lineup just to get like a marginal upgrade at quarterback. Like because if
Yes,
you take a quarterback at like if you take a mid quarterback in the fifth round that you think is going to be a little bit better than those guys, then like you're wasting your value there, and then you're going to have like a shorthanded flex or wide receiver two spot. That's not going to be
exactly.
optimal.
I
Exactly.
mean,
Why don't
think
you
about
take
it
the
this way.
tight end there?
Dak Prescott right now is QB 12. Matthew
Mhm.
Stafford is set to be QB 17, and Drake May is QB 3. Do I want Drake May over Matthew Stafford and Dak Prescott? Yes. Do I want Drake May in the fifth round when Dak Prescott's going to be available in the 10th round and Stafford's going to be available in the 13th round? No.
No,
You know, yeah, that it's
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 not
as
worth
simple
it
as that.
there.
Positional scarcity, right? It's just a simple supply and demand economical equation right here.
Yes,
Like, you know what
sir.
I mean? No,
Yeah,
seriously, it's
no, like you said with the tight end position is similar with the quarterback. So
mhm.
like, you have those two guys and then you're gonna spend heavy money on those two guys, but it's well worth it. And then the next, group of guys, like what's the difference between Kyle Pitts and Isaiah Likely or Kyle Pitts and Dallas Goddard, those types of guys.
For sure. I mean, even the tight end position, like after looking at the Bears depth chart, maybe I'll swing for Colson Loveland in the fourth round or fifth round or something. But outside of that, like, do I really want to take Tyler Warren in the fifth round when Kyle Pitts is going to be available in the seventh round or eighth round, right? If do I really want like, Tucker Craft in the fifth round when I can get Jake Ferguson or Isaiah Likely or Mark Andrews without Isaiah Likely this year?
Yeah, that's true with
Like,
a different offensive coordinator.
yeah, like maybe same thing. Tight end and quarterback this year are should be much more devalued than in years past. In years past, the way a QB run worked is someone takes a QB in the third round and takes Josh Allen or Mahomes or whoever. Then someone takes Lamar. Then someone takes Burrow and Hurts right after. Then someone takes Jane Daniels and like in this by the sixth to seventh round, 70% of this like top 12 to 15 quarterbacks are gone. If our league drafts that way, I'm in good shape.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know
No,
what I
because
mean?
yeah, you drafted well last year. I mean, you took Baker Mayfield like relatively early, but then you were able
Yeah,
to get Stafford like later on, and that wasn't like that was way. And then nobody else needed a quarterback at that point, so it was like ended up being your one of your
yeah, yeah.
better
And
picks.
and I think I made a mistake taking Baker Mayfield. There was no reason for me to take Baker Mayfield that early. I could have gone Emeka Egbuka over Baker Mayfield then, right? It was a mistake.
Yeah, I did. I'll be the first to admit, and the podcast knows this, but like, yeah, I wasted a draft pick on Kyler Murray. Obviously, like, I mean, that was a terrible draft pick. I thought Marvin Harrison was going to finally have the year of ascension. I thought, their receiving core was slightly better. Obviously, got Trey McBride. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought he could just, it was a contract year for him. I thought he would be able to play better, but
I mean,
there's
you and I took Kyler and Baker Mayfield right next to each other as well.
but you
Last
got
year.
way more value out of that
Oh,
pickup
for
than
sure.
I did.
Especially
Yeah.
because Baker in the beginning of the season, like he was cooking last year. It was
Yeah, and then you were
towards the
able to
end of the year.
swap over to Stafford
Yeah,
though, which was
yes.
like a good pick. So I definitely like that strategy. But it's very strategic what you do with your bench slots because you only get so many. So are you going to take two tight ends? Are you going to take two quarterbacks? Are
No.
you going to just take one of each and then take extra
How many bench spots are
skill
we doing this
positions?
year?
It's the same. I think it's like five or
Five?
six. Yeah, five
I was
probably.
in a league last year with four bench spots. The strategy is so different when you have four bench spots, right? Like
Yeah.
because you can't keep guys on the bench, right? Like
No, no,
you
you
can do
definitely
one
don't want
running
an
back,
extra
one
quarterback.
receiver,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to obviously defenses and kickers you can kind of stream if needed, but
But well, that's the biggest thing about the four person or four bench league last year was like I was like 10-3 at one point, right? When my defense was
mhm.
on bye week. I literally just put my defense in the bench and did not start a defense because I didn't want to lose out on I forget whose defense I had. I think I had the Broncos defense or something, but like there's
Yeah,
no way I was gonna lose out on that.
yeah, and I mean, speaking to that point about defense, I think this year like there's a few good defenses, but there's going to be a lot of defenses getting torched this year because I would think the offenses in the league have gotten a lot better. So you got to be strategic about which ones you get because if you're streaming defenses, this like gets pretty annoying in my opinion.
I
So if
mean,
you
outside of what, like the Texans, Broncos, maybe Seahawks.
yeah,
Outside of that, you got to stream.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta be pretty strategic. Like it's not a bad or maybe the Patriots, but you got to be like willing to like spend a little bit more on a defense if you want like that type of stability.
What
But
about the kicker position? I think Brandon Aubrey obviously has value,
I
right?
think
Like he's
Brandon
a
Aubrey and Cam Dicker probably
yeah,
are.
Dicker the kicker,
Yeah,
obviously. Outside of those two guys, I mean, it's a fall off
yeah.
after that.
I hate every year I do this to myself. I'm left with looking at guys like, and then Kaimi Fairbairn would be up there, I think too. But like, I'm left looking at guys like Evan McPherson, Tyler Bass in the past, and then Jake Elliott and stuff like that. Like, that's not very it's hit or miss. So any of those guys could be a league winner. Any of them could like sell you for a few weeks. So outside of those top two guys, it seems like this year it's a lot of like positional scarcity, as you said. You got to be quick with getting your draft picks if you want the top at each position. And then there's a lot of guys that are going to be up for debate and who's going to
I mean, it
be
looks like
good and
from
who's
our
not.
conversation, at least you and me are going to be targeting a lot of RBs and wide receivers and not a whole lot else.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it depends. Like, I mean, I am a Hertz Glazer, so if he slips too far, like, there's no way I'm gonna pass, that type of
That's true.
option
I'm not
on
passing up on Bryce Young either.
him.
If he's
Yeah.
available in the 13th round, I'm
Hey, all I
snagging up
gotta
Bryce
say,
Young.
I'm taking if Darren Waller is still available, I'm gonna grab him at some point in this
I
draft.
mean, like, is he? He has to be, but like playing more than Tommy Tremble for the
Yeah.
Panthers. I don't know.
I think well he was at practice like off the not with the team like kind of catching passes getting everything acclimated the other day when
Yeah,
I saw but so he he's getting there but who's to say he's really good until like a couple weeks into the season 'cause he's learning still coming in late.
I wonder. Where's Jalen Coker? Oh my God, he's so undervalued.
Yeah, yeah, I like his value too.
He's a solid bench pickup.
Yeah, no,
Like
he's gonna
honestly,
be
like
pretty
going
good this
into this
year.
year, like towards the end of the year last year, obviously Tuck McMillan is the first round draft pick and whatnot, but Jalen Coker was kind of bridging that Coker and McMillan gap, like where it was like one or the other.
Yeah, no, towards the end, especially that catch against the Rams in the playoffs, like
Yeah.
he's top tier
He
talent.
also had a beautiful catch. I was there in person against Tampa Bay in 3rd and 10, with like 4.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. It was 3rd and 10, and it looked like if Panthers, have to punt there and, the Buccaneers could just hold the ball and kick the field goal. And Jalen Coker had a beautiful catch on 3rd and 10, like he was balling out towards the end of that year last year. Even against the Rams in the regular season too. McMillan had a great game that game, but so did Coker. You know, both those guys were balling out. Um,
I
I'm
mean,
a heavy fan
Coker,
of Coker.
yeah, Coker would be way higher on the list if he started the season out last year, but he,
Yeah,
came in late, so his stats obviously weren't 100% there. But and then also after the regular season was over, then he was adding more stats, fantasy regular season.
yeah, for sure. That's fair. And his best performance of the year last year came in a playoff game that didn't have any much like fantasy merit, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's fair.
I do like his value. I think there's a lot of guys that are undervalued. So, but I feel like our league, at least both of my leagues, there's people that you think that they're going to be drafted 4 or 5 rounds later because you'll look at a couple of mock drafts and stuff, and then they end up getting taken early, and everyone's like, "Oh wow, I should have grabbed that guy," but no one expected them to go that early. So it's a lot of that too. So if you're with a lot of smart people in your draft, you kind of gotta, play the chess game. If you want Coker, you may have to buy him early instead of waiting late.
All right, guys. That wraps up our third episode of the Statline podcast. Like, I can't wait for football to be back, man. All this talk, I can't wait to draft. We're
Yeah, yeah,
drafting fully in person this year, right?
yeah. You have to
I'm
let
real
us
excited.
know how the draft goes this weekend.
Oh, for sure. Next week we'll cover my draft from my first official draft this year.
Yes, sir. Starting the season off. Peace.